Okay, I'm back. One last thing with the droid thing. I'm gonna go ahead and um, show you how to place that wherever you like. Or actually, I'm gonna hold off on that until I get to my custom functions quick little tutorial because it'll be part of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the nav menu. This is really, really simple and straightforward. Should be really quick. Okay, so basically, this just controls your nav menu. If is your home page. Um, so that's the title of your home page, by the way. I changed it so that I'll go ahead and show you real quick. Changed it so that it would appear correctly here. And obviously this little edit thing won't normally be there. Like I'm signed in right now, but someone visiting your site wouldn't see that. Um, recent spoilers here, or the droid thing, is basically just a function that goes on the hook. I believe it's above content, like thesis hook before content is the hook, I think. Um, so then that's not actually part of the post. This is actually the post content. Um, so find spoilers for is the title of the post, and I have to have that as the title in order for it to work there. It won't matter in terms of SEO because you've got a custom thesis title, and no one will ever see that as the title of the post. They'll just see it as the header over this little section here. So that would be what I would say. And I took the heroes thing out of there, added 90210. And if you look at the nav, oh, here we are. We're at the nav menu. Okay, so this is your homepage nav menu. Let's go ahead and click here, and we'll get to. And then this is your nav menu for, normal everything else pages. Okay, so basically, like I said, this is super straightforward. You look at the nav menu. If it's that page, then this shows up, this unordered list here, which is exactly what you see on the home page. The classes need to stay the same. UL class menu needs to be there, and LA list item class tab needs to be there. Basically, with this, these are going to be controlled by the thesis nav options and by any custom CSS you have for the thesis nav menu. This structure makes it so that it's controlled by the exact same stuff. So that's really cool. It makes life really easy. You don't have to edit two custom nav menus if you ever want to change the nav menu around. Or I mean, at least you want to edit the style, like obviously. And you can add more links to this if you want to. Totally up to you, however you want to do that. And then obviously here, basically else thesis nav menu just means if it's not the home page, it'll just show the normal thesis nav menu that we have set up through the thesis options. So super simple stuff there. Last thing I wanted to show you before we take a look at the custom functions is spoiler ads.php. Click edit selected file. This is really straightforward. Basically, this is just the functions that show the ads. This function right here, you already know about. This was in your custom functions file before. I just moved it over here so it was organized. Basically, just shows your 468 by 60 AdSense block above single posts. AdSense below posts. This function just places the 300 by 250 ad block below every single post. I'm not sure if you had it that way. I think you did. If you didn't, you can change it. It's not a big deal. One thing I would say with these AdSense blocks is I tried to put the right AdSense blocks in the right function. Like they all have different IDs. So make sure that those are in the right spots, like for your channels and stuff, because I'm sure you have that set up for testing purposes. So make sure that the right thing is in the right spot. I would have done that, but obviously I can't log into your AdSense account and find that out for myself. So, no. And then this is just your homepage AdSense. This is what shows up below the second post on your show homepages. So, straightforward stuff there. All right, last thing we need to look at is custom functions. Okay, so I've reorganized your custom functions file completely. I hope that's okay, but this should be a lot more straightforward and a lot easier to decipher. Let me go ahead and pull this out just a little bit so that we can see as much as we can. Okay. So basically I've got this organized into sections. The the first thing that you'll see is a list of hooks, like remove action, add action, and then the hook, and then the function. And I'll explain how that works in case you don't know in just a second. And then the second section, this basically just calls all of those files, like all this stuff, spoiler, spoiler header, blog roll, droid, show loop, add, sidebar, droid single, show home pages, and nav, calls all of those files so that they're included here, and we can call those functions with the hooks, if that makes sense. So basically, anything that's in spoiler adds, all of those functions are now part of this file, and we can call them using our hooks, just to be redundant and make sure that you understand. Let's see. Okay, these remove actions. This, we're basically removing the comments link from thesis hook after post. Basically, the way that hooks work, you give a hook. Like when you use open hook, you're placing the content that you put in the open hook. You're placing that where that hook area is. So like the feature box, you had it set to show below the second post on the blog pages, and so you put it in thesis hook feature box, and then you put essentially that's what you did. You put it in thesis hook feature box, but you did it in the open hook. When you do it just in custom functions, basically you're going to do the same thing. You're going to place it in a hook, and then this second little thing here is the name of your function that you want to place in that hook. So this just removes stuff. Like this removes the comments link, this removes the default header, the default nav menu, and obviously we're going to replace the header, we're going to replace the nav menu, and then the custom template sample, because obviously we put in custom templates. Okay, so then these hooks place custom elements in the correct areas. Add action, thesis hook before header, we put the nav menu back on, and that's basically just inserts the correct nav menus in the correct places. So home page and then everywhere else. Thesis hook header, the rotating header, just places header images. Thesis hook before sidebar 1 takes care of the sidebar recent category post, which is just your recent spoilers. And then after sidebar 1, we have the blog roll. After post box, or I'm sorry, before post box, we have my ad, so the 468 by 60 AdSense block, and these are all commented so you can see what they all do if you ever need to change it. Thesis hook after post puts ad and then AdSense below post. Like, I mean, you can see how that kind of corresponds. Like thesis hook after post, AdSense below post. It makes sense. Thesis hook custom template is the show home pages, and that's just the function that houses the custom templates for show home pages. Thesis hook feature box. Actually, you know what? I can get rid of this because we're not using it. And the reason that didn't show up, the feature box thing, was because I had it turned off in thesis options, so that sort of overrode that. Thesis hook before content, droid, and then thesis hook after header. It's in a different spot because it's set up a little bit different on the single pages. So that's pretty straightforward. As far as putting droid in different places, you basically just move it around to whatever hook you want. So if, like, let's say that you wanted to put it after posts, you would do something like add action. I always just sort of build that so that I make sure that doesn't get messed up. Thesis hook after, whoops, post box, and then you would do droid, and that would just basically put those 6 posts below your post box. So if you wanted to do it before the comments but after the end of the post, that's where you would put that. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, makes it really easy to move things around. Or if you wanted to put it, after sidebar 1, that would put it at the bottom of your sidebar below your blog roll. And obviously then you would just have just six of those things, one after the other, like one on top of each other. They wouldn't fit into the rows quite as well. So yeah, that should be pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer those. And if I'm sure there's a few things I missed. If I did, I'll go ahead and make another video for you. And I think that's it.